Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we identify some bourbon treasures. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Tim Swyatt, and Lenny Epstein.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
How we doing?
So, we're going to be talking about bourbon treasures. This could be anything related to the world of bourbon. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Tim said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Tim?
Yes, I was reading an article in a whiskey magazine that likes to advocate for the whiskey drinkers. And one of the articles was about hashtag bottle kill. And the whole article was very compelling because it was that author's interpretation of what it would be like the person continuing to go down social media hell and progressively posting romantic descriptions about whiskey and their therapist. And I just was reading this as I just got done posting a hashtag bottle kill of my own. And I was curious to see what everybody's thoughts are with us all back in normal life, because everything is back to normal now. Has social media just completely got out of hand on the whiskey side of sentimentality in bottles being over, or is this hashtag bottle kill? I mean, there's some content that's just over the top. I'm just like, I can't stand it anymore. But I got caught reading this article pretty much about myself, and I'm like, maybe that's a problem. Anybody have any questions or comments about that one? Because I looked at this and it was like a therapy session reading this article.
I would rather see a bottle kill post than one of a shelf of unopened bottles. Who cares about your shelf of unopened bottles? That a bottle kill is, at least if you are a bourbon drinker, and especially when you got something that you probably won't get again, whether it's a single barrel release or a highly allocated item that you were lucky enough to get, whatever the reason is, the bottle kill is a big moment because there's usually some hesitation. Do I finish this? Do I not? And then at some point you finally take the leap. So I think it's social media worthy. So I don't have any issue with bottle kill photos.
I'm glad you said that, because I think there is a differentiation here.
Yeah, I'm with Steve on that, because especially when it's something that's special,
right?
You're sad.
Right.
Something that if it's like something that you got from like the other night, I finished off a bottle of Bananas Foster that I shouldn't have.
Oh,
I did anyways.
Breaks my heart.
And I was sad. I was like dumping it, and I was like, oh God, Royce is gonna find this bottle. I gotta get rid of it. And I was sad because I've been sipping on it kind of a lot lately. It just was one that we've got boxes of liquor because we haven't unpacked everything yet. And it was right there. And I'm like, oh God, I was like, this is so good. And I kept drinking it. I'm like, I need to not drink it all. And then I drank it all. And I was very sad about that. I didn't post about a bottle kill. Maybe I should have, but it's depressing. And I'm with Steve. I'd rather see people killing their bottles off than having them sit there forever.
Yeah. That doesn't impress me. Your full bottles doesn't impress me.
At least crack them open.
Yeah.
At least taste it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I kind of would like to see happen? I've had this idea of so first of all, if there's a bottle I really like a lot, I'm for sure going to kill it. And it happens all the time. But there's a lot of bottles that I don't know, there could be a little bit left and I'm never going to get to it. So rather than the other people would talk about a sink pour, and they, pick something that's pretty good and like flex by being like, Singapore.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's stupid. But I think what would be cool is rather than doing the infinity bottle, I think people should start doing infinity barrels. And, it's not that hard to get a used barrel from the distillery. A 53 is pretty big, but if you could score a quarter cask and keep it like in your garage, every time you got a bottle that's got like maybe 3 ounces left that you're like, well, it's good, but let's do something interesting with it. They keep topping off their infinity barrel, and after
there you go.
2 years, they'll have a quarter cask full of like.
That's a good idea.
I'd like to see more. I'm about to do it just, because why not?
Yeah.
But
Gary Heingarter's got those cool tap things too that he got from somewhere, Switzerland or something, that to work really well. They don't leak, but so you could that way you could have a drink of it from time to time too.
Yeah.
Tap it.
Get a thief and thief your own.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fun trend in the.
Wouldn't be fun. Yeah. Kathy, what about you? What do you think? Empty bottle kills. Is that a problem on social media?
No, the problem on social media is crotch shots.
Crotch shots, that's a big problem.
Thank you. Yes.
People being idiots. The flex is another one too.
Yeah.
Like dumping a bottle of Eagle Rare down the drain. Really, first of all, it's not drain pour worthy. There's no scenario. Whatever you think about Eagle Rare, give it to someone else because someone would like. I mean, there's plenty of people. It's great. It's great for especially for the price. When you get it for the retail price, Eagle Rare is awesome. But
or at least let us know what you put in the Eagle Rare bottle after you drained it, and
iced
put
tea.
somebody else's product in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why that would make you look cool dumping a bottle down the drain.
That's why they're doing it,
something
though.
that's actually
good. They think it is. Like
that's
cool.
not a flex. You look
Right.
like a fucking idiot because you're just dumping your fucking money down the drain.
Right.
You look stupid. If you don't like the whiskey, for one, you can, if you have other whiskey friends, maybe give them the bottle.
Yeah. Well, they're saying they don't have no friends with that move, right?
Exactly. So for two, if you don't like the flavor of it, fucking mix it with lemonade.
Right.
Mix it with something else. Mix it into a fucking cocktail where it doesn't matter what it really tastes like. Don't be a douchebag.
Mix it.
Well,
Well,
there are people that think people who drink cocktails are beneath them.
Oh yeah,
of
there's
course,
plenty of that.
right?
There's plenty of that.
You can
Plenty of
only
that.
drink it neat.
Always neat. Neat
It has
always.
to be neat. If it's not, then you're a loser. Okay.
Never not neat. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, I agree, but I'm just kidding.
That's how I drink mine. But
I drink mine like that, but I like a good, a bourbon lemonade is delicious.
Sure.
That is, it's an actual.
Especially when you're making it,
Exactly.
If I don't have to make it, I like a cocktail. But
If it's the middle of the day,
that's the biggest issue. I don't want to make it.
I probably shouldn't have a. I mean, I'll drink straight bourbon all during the day, obviously, but like maybe a cocktail is a good idea instead of a straight, little bourbon neat. Maybe have a cocktail. And like you said, Steve, if someone else is making my cocktail,
Heck yeah, have at it.
All day long.
I'll drink. Yeah. Yeah, Tim, what are your thoughts? You threw it out there, and you weighed in a little bit.
So my little bottle kill reminiscing. I'm sitting home on a Friday night after a pretty long week, and I was all home alone, and I finished off my bottle of Buzzard's Roost Peated Barrel, and I got all sentimental about it because that was the first trip I took when that thing went out at Bourbon's Bistro with Jason and Mike at the bar. And my cousin Patrick, and I was like, you know what? I've had this whole thing myself because I haven't had many people over. Poured some samples for some folks this, that, and the other. And that one got me. But I started flashing back to some of these other bottle kills with like a standard bottle that you can get on the shelf at any point in time. And it's like this whole big, elaborate, upside down picture inside the Glencairn, perfectly balanced and all this jazz. And I'm like, just go to the liquor store and buy it again. It's okay. It's like that. That is what I think is the differentiator. So, Steve, you helped me out there. You made me feel like is not as much of an asshat as I thought I was. And
No, you're still an asshat, but not for that reason.
just not as large of one. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, there you go.
You helped me out there on the sentimental bottles and the single barrels, or something special that's tied to a memory that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, guess what, gang? It's time for us to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Kathy.
So I'm gonna kill a bottle.
Ridiculous.
It's my wood hat.
So pretentious.
make sure you post about it.
Yeah.
Right? Bourbon Rubenesque.
Bourbon Rubenesque.
Nothing.
Nothing. Silent. I've got Blanton's. I'm guessing this one's not going to be much better than that. I'm hoping I get something here, but let's see what we got. Slightly audible. That's how I would rate that. Slightly audible. So better than Kathy's. I have the lead, actually. All right, Lenny, I'll probably still have the lead. We'll let Lenny go next.
Not necessarily. I am on the East Coast at sea level, no less. And I've got the opposite of bottle kills. I've got all brand new bottles. I'm gonna go with as much victory efforts as I can. Doesn't mean shit, really, but let's see.
Okay. Yeah, he's got the lead. I feel like
What
it can
was
be
it?
beat. Yeah, well, it
Oh
looks
yeah,
like
yeah. Thanks.
New Riff.
Yeah, New Riff Rye. They don't
Yep.
even sell this
Nice.
in Colorado, but they do in New
Very
Hampshire.
nice.
Okay, all right. Next up is Beka.
I have got some Still 630, the Van Scoik Vows.
Van Squid
Talking about
Vows. Okay.
Sentimental things. This is a sentimental bottle.
Okay. Not as good as Lenny's, actually. I think the mic got you there. It sounded like it cut out or something. It was weird. It was weird.
I don't know where my
There was a
mic's at.
glitch.
I'm using Royce's computer, so I have no idea where to
Okay.
look at.
Okay. There was definitely a glitch there. So you might have had better, but we have to go by what we heard, and what we heard is Lenny's leading. So he's got the lead. Tim, you're last but not least.
And I'm going to start, since the theme is bourbon treasures, I decided to a sentimental bottle, a 2015 Limestone limited edition.
Okay. No, nothing there.
Nothing.
Nothing there. So,
Nothing.
hey, by the way, if you can get your hands on the Limestone, the Yellowstone original recipe, oh man, that's
I
good
should say
stuff.
Yellowstone. Did I say Yellowstone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yellowstone. That
That's-
one I got to get. I'll be going through in October or next couple weeks.
Yeah, grab one of those. It's great. Cheers, gang.
Absolutely.
Look at how
Cheers.
much this is.
Nice. All right. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about bourbon treasures. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Danny Kennard, which is turning into Freddie Mills. Y'all have a good fucking day because this is the Bourbon Daily. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking bourbon treasures.
Yes, we are. So, what do you guys think are some bourbon treasures? Again, this can be literally anything as it ties to bourbon. It can be people, places, or things. So, yeah, what do you guys think would be something that would qualify?
Freddie Johnson.
Freddie Johnson, absolutely. Absolutely. But he's a bourbon treasure, no doubt. No doubt.
The bourbon treasure.
Yeah. There's nothing to dislike about Freddie. Everything about him is awesome. He is definitely a bourbon treasure, and there's a couple other ones too that kind of fit into that category, I believe, in terms of people like Jimmy Russell. I mean, he's a bourbon treasure for sure. So yeah, so he's definitely one of those. So I would say even locally, Gary from Woodhead. I mean, he's not necessarily known on a national scale, but in the distilling world, a lot of the distillers know him, have talked to him. He is a bourbon treasure because of his knowledge. When Gary's done, retired, whatever it is, there's nobody that has the amount of knowledge he does about corn. There's nobody who has. I mean, the fact he grows 130 varieties and he works with the National Seed Bank to replenish seeds in the national. I mean, the feds literally come in to help him plant or oversee it to make sure he's doing things the right way. It's wild. I mean, Lenny, are you doing any of that stuff? I don't think
Absolutely
so.
not.
It's not a criticism on you. It's just if you do. I mean,
yeah, I'll talk to you when I become a farmer.
Yeah.
Nope, not doing that.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right about that with Gary. And I think there's a few other, I mean, God, there's a lot of heritage brand distillers that I'm sure have a lot of info, but I really am inspired by, a lot of the craft side that, it goes without saying, Todd Leopold, the guy's like out there helping anyone who has a question, which is super rad. And even like back in the day, there were guys like Chip Tate that I would shoot an email to. He's like, hey, just give me a call. I'll talk you through it. And you don't hear as much about him anymore, but it sounds like he's got some stuff going on again.
Think about who took over for Pickerel. I'd say Leopold did. Some of those guys picked up the torch from there.
Yeah.
If you're talking about, here's a pro tip talking to Gary, get him talking about Chinkapin oak. You want a school, you want a lesson?
Yeah.
Oh, Gary will teach you that. And I would add, if we're talking about people, I would also add features because I think Stephen Beam's mustache is a
national treasure. Yeah.
It is a national treasure.
Yeah, I agree.
Eddie Bolton's is just as good though, Steve.
Well, he's not in the, despite what Eddie thinks, he's not really in the bourbon industry, so he doesn't qualify.
Getting bourbon in his mustache does not make him a bourbon treasure.
Yeah.
He just needs to
But
marry.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think a couple distilleries themselves are national treasures. I mean, Maker's Mark. Yeah, it's definitely, it's beautiful. It's cool. Castle and Key. Yeah, that's a bourbon treasure.
I was just about to throw that up there.
Yeah.
This is mine. It's some of those Beam decanters, and this one's the Old Taylor Distillery, which is Castle and Key.
I think that those old decanters are a bourbon treasure.
Bingo.
A full one. A full Beam decanter or old decanter of bourbon is a bourbon treasure because it's not stuff that you can't buy it from a store. I mean, necessarily, it's not still being made. It's something that you find that's a treasure.
It's a treasure. Yeah, I agree.
I
think Buffalo Trace Distillery is also, as we were talking distilleries, that's another one that's just a national treasure. Bourbon treasure, I guess I need to be saying.
With regards to, I mean, not the distilleries themselves, but their offerings, I got a weird angle, but hear me out on this one. So some of the like ridiculous ones by, let's say our standards, the Weller or Blanton's, as much like as we goof on them because people freak out about them, here's why I kind of think of them in a sense as a treasure. So you come across them every once in a while, and when I do, I'm like, I'm going to buy that because I've got at least 30 friends who I can give them to, and they will lose their shit. And they're all of a sudden the happiest people in the world because rather than having the patience to, hear what I might really think or what they should really drink, they don't give a shit. They just want to be stoked on like the things that they, catch hype about.
Yeah.
So I think those are kind of a fun one for me because they're still attainable. It's not like I'm going out and getting like a Pappy 15 for them, but.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you can get that at the ABV Barrel Shop, right? From what I hear. Just got to call them up.
Just got to call. And call more than once, too. That's the key. The first time we always say no, but then when you're persistent.
Repeatedly call.
Then we know when you're serious. So, yeah. That's when we start giving up the scoop. Yeah. What else?
I would say some of what I think are treasures are some of these unique experiences that you have that end up being on barrelheads that you can take with you. So I've got, ABV Network's putting out Colorado whiskey, and I've got a signature of a lot of people on there. Most importantly, Arlo Eckstein has a signature on that barrelhead that will be, I know what I have, So come hot with the right offer before this really hits. So I've got that in my back pocket as a bourbon treasure.
Yeah.
And I also have a barrel head, not only signed by the Neelys, that's a whole nother ballgame, but I got lucky enough. I was down at the Old Pogue Distillery, and the family brings everybody back once a quarter to bottle, label, fill, pack, and distribute. And I have 3 generations of Pogues autograph that barrel head, which I thought was pretty cool. Just some of those unique experiences that you have that is just a treasure to you personally. And I always had that experience and that little memory behind the scenes. It doesn't mean much to anybody else, but some of those things that take with you that keep you in the bourbon game to find new experiences like that. Because I think the community and the people of bourbon, all you folks distilling, doing what you're doing, for all the fans that are out there and all the crazy things you guys see, it matters. And it's the liquid's more than just, that's what brings us together, but that memory is what keeps it all together, makes it a treasure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely the relationships and the friends you make.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge treasure.
Yeah. I mean, a testament to the show that we're doing right now is just the power of bourbon. You know, the fact that, this group has come together based over a love for bourbon. We found each other through that, which is wild to think about. So it's cool.
Better than Tinder.
Yeah. It's better than Tinder. Yeah. It's longer lasting. We've been friends for a long time, all of us at this point.
There should be bourbon Tinder as well.
Yeah.
Like swipe for bourbon friends.
Yeah. Anything else that should be a national treasure?
What about your barrel shop, Steve? Can I just throw it out there? I think that's a treasure.
I think one day we'll get there. I think we're so early on that we're just hitting our stride, really. I feel like I do feel like, it's evolving so quickly that we're literally seeing it happen before our eyes. And, because we started out with a boom, we had this great opening and all that, but then we languished a little bit because we were having a hard time getting more things approved into the state. And that really slowed things down. And it took 2 months. Well, the good thing is we waited it out and people kept coming back in and a lot of them would turn away when we didn't have anything new. And we went one time about 3 weeks in a row where we didn't have anything new. And that's tough when you have a small barrel shop that is your specialty. But now, Jim and I, what we kept doing was just kept picking barrels, and then the hopper, the queue gets bigger and bigger and longer. But you know what? Now that it's coming in, we got in, 3 barrels on Friday. We're going to get 4 barrels tomorrow, and then 1 more later in the week. So yeah, they're coming in now, and that brings people in. And we saw that paid off big this weekend. The Hidden Barn thing, which is coming in this week, that'll be all sold out this week. That's going to be a huge week for us. And then I feel like we're getting the big classes. We have, neat things like the Jackie class that we just did last night as we record this, but then even like the special things, like we did the tribute to Rick Brenner and Danny Kennard. That was a special moment for me. That was a neat event. The fact that we could do something for our friends to a sold out house and people were donating that didn't even come. And I don't know, it's like, those are moments that's like, this place is special. It is about the friendships that we have. And that just shows that it's a place, an environment where we can create some of those memories there. So it's cool. What else? Anything else you guys think of that are bourbon treasures? No, there you go. That's a pretty good list. Lenny's got something.
No, I don't.
He wanted to put himself in the mix. He was like, why didn't anybody say me? I was clearly.
I can't follow up your, just your last commentary on your shop and all the people in there. I think that's a good note to end on. That's a legit.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope that we get there. I think we're building a good base, and I think we're getting new people in every day, which is cool. And they're leaving saying they're going to tell their friends. And I think over time, this is going to grow to be one of the cool things in the world of bourbon. I mean, and not every cool thing has to happen in Kentucky. There's the cool things that you have to, like going to Leopold Brothers. I hope that we can turn St. Louis into one of those destinations to come and see what we're doing, and then some of our favorite distillers too, because we're trying to highlight them in there too. So it's a place that we can reward those that are doing well. We're going through craft bourbon. We're turning things down that don't. We're tasting everything that comes in, but we're turning things down that. We're not blasting anybody. That's not our thing. But when we like something, we'll highlight it. We'll showcase it. So, and bourbon fans get to taste it. So it's cool stuff. So there you go. On that note, we'll wrap this one up and talk about where people can find us. Kathy, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, KK Cask Strength.
All right, Tim.
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112.
All right, Lenny.
You find me, the rest Deerhammer, on social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, where you can order all of our whiskey shipped to your door. And you can come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
All right, Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
For me, I'm an easy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, that one's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. All of our previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. And hey, if you like what we're doing, head over to the ABV Barrel Shop and come by. You'll get a chance to see us. So we are at in Arnold, Missouri, a St. Louis metro community, and Jim and I are there. One of us will be there at all times. We are the owners of it, so come by and check it out. And be sure to sign up at abvbarrelshop.com for our email newsletter so you know exactly what we have in stock. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit the Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with the national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.